Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about very important topic in front-end development, that is how to build a website with the dark mode and the light mode. So nowadays you might have seen a lot of websites come with the feature where you can switch to the dark mode or the light mode. So based on how you like to work on your computer, maybe if you don't like too much light coming from the screen, you might prefer to switch to the dark mode and work in the dark mode. So for example, even if you go to Google, so on the settings you can switch the theme to the dark mode, and this is how it looks like in the dark mode. It doesn't reflect too much light and it's easy on your eyes, and you can switch back to the light mode. So it depends on the personal choice, but nowadays a lot of websites are coming with this feature where you can switch to any of the modes you like. So in this video we are going to build similar kind of feature in React application. We are going to use Material UI to build this kind of feature and also learn this important feature. So let's go to the code and start building this feature from scratch. So I have this React application running on my computer. I will delete all the default code that is written here and just say hello world for now and save it. So this is how our application looks like right now. We will build some components here from the Material UI, and we will try to implement that page, one single page, in both dark mode and light mode. So for that, let's go and I have this Material UI documentation open on my browser, and I'll copy the command to install Material UI in my application. So I'll go to the correct directory and then just paste the command to install Material UI. So let's wait until the installation is complete here, and then we can start building our feature. So now we have installed the Material UI, and before we begin we should also install the Material UI icons from here. We are going to use some of the icons from the Material UI. So let's install this as well. So guys, now we have installed the package that we need to learn and build this feature. So we will start importing some of the components from this Material UI package. So we will import grid, card, typography. It's something that we might need to build some page here, and then we can build this dark and light mode feature on this page. So we'll write some HTML before we come to building the dark and the light modes. So here we can import this from Material UI package. So inside this, let's create a grid with the grid component, and let's make this as a grid container. So inside this container we are going to make more grids. So let's make a grid item inside this container, and whatever we are building here, so inside this grid, let's say that this grid size will be 6 on all the screens. Small screen, medium screen, and the large screen we can give the size as 6. And then inside this grid, let's create a card. We will have an idea why we are building this in just a moment. Let's change this size to 12 actually. And inside this card we are going to place a button, and we will use this button to change, we can say, change mode. So when we will implement a feature where when we click on this button, the theme of the website will change to the dark theme. So we can see the card has already appeared here. So we can put some styling on this card. Let's say, I can say that let's align the button in the center of the card for now. Yeah, this should be enough. Now we can see that this card has appeared in the light mode, that is white. It's white in color. So below this, let's create some more components. So let me create another grid And this grid, let me give a size of 4 for this grid. 4 4 4. And inside this grid again I'm going to create a card. So this is a card. Inside this I can put some text using typography which says just hey. So we can see another card here. To give some spacing between these two cards in the overall grid, we can specify the spacing as 2. So we have some gap between these cards now. Now let's go and increase the height of this card so we can see it clearly on the screen. So here we can give a style where we can increase the height to 300 pixels, and let's align the text in the center, and let's also give the line height to 300 pixels. Okay, so now we see this card looks like this, and this text is coming here in the card. So let's go and remove the typography here. We can just say hey, so it comes in the middle of the card, so it looks better now. So what we can do is we can create more components like this. We can just copy this component 3 4 5 6 as many times as you like. So I am basically trying to build a page here. So we have a page here where we have a button to change the mode, and then we have some components here which appear in the light mode right now. So on this change mode, basically we will write all the feature to change this website to dark mode, and we will see how this website looks in light and the dark mode, and we'll compare both. So for that we need to, in order to implement the theme here, basically we will be building two themes, so we need to use some more components from Material UI. So if I just go to Google and type ThemeProvider Material UI, so there is a component in the Material UI which can be used to build themes. So here if we see, we will import this ThemeProvider component from Material UI. I'll just copy this text directly from the Material UI documentation and place it here. So we have a theme provider, we have create theme, and some styled component that we have imported from the Material UI styles. Now let's create, now what we need to do is we need to enclose this entire HTML that we have written within the theme provider. So we will put the closing tag for the theme provider at the bottom. So, and in this theme provider, we will define what theme we want to assign to the entire HTML that we have written within this theme provider. So here we can say that theme would be, so as of now let's keep this empty, and let's define the themes first that we need to assign to this text that we have written here. So we will define two themes. One is the light theme, a dark theme, and inside this there will be a palette, and here we can say mode, this palette would be light, and in case of dark, the mode of this palette would be dark. And here in the theme we can for now let's assign theme as, so we need to use this create theme function that we have imported from the Material UI in order to assign the theme. So we will assign the theme as this, create theme light. For now let's keep the theme as light, and let's see if we have any errors right now. Oh, everything looks fine. Now what if we change this to dark and see what happens. So now you can see that the theme has automatically changed to the dark mode. I have not applied any kind of CSS in this HTML that I have written below. It's automatically happening with the help of this theme provider component, where I'm just passing the in which mode I want to see this HTML. So here I defined palette to light and here dark. So if I pass light here, theme changes to the light mode. If I pass dark here, theme automatically becomes dark. So to make it little bit more interesting, let's make this button work. We don't want to do this manually here. We want this to happen on the click of this button. So for that we can import use state from React. We will define a state here is dark set. So here this state defines whether the theme is dark or light. So by default this will be false. So if is dark is false, then theme is light. So here what I can say is, if is dark, then I want to assign the light theme, else I want to assign the dark theme. So if I save this, so we got some errors here. Yeah, I think we have made some mistake here. We have removed the, yeah. So as of now the theme looks dark. So here we have told if this is true, I think we have given it opposite. If this is true, the theme should be dark, and if false, then theme should be light. So by default, now the theme is light. So if I make it to true, theme would become dark, but by default this state would be false, and we will do this on click of a button. So to make it more interesting, I don't want to have a button here. I want to have some symbol that defines that we are going to switch to the dark mode. So if I go to Material UI, I can find dark mode icon, Material UI. So if I try to find some icon here, so here I found an icon that Material UI has. So I'll just use this icon instead of a button to make this feature look more interesting. Oh sorry, I should import it first at the top, and then I will place this in place of this button. So here we have the icon now. Let's go and see. So this is how it looks now. So when I'll click on this icon, I want this theme to change to dark mode, and when I click on it again, so I want this theme to change back to the light mode. So here on this icon, I'll write on click event listener, which will handle theme. So here I can define my handle theme function. So on click, we will say that if the theme is already dark, then I want to change it back to light, which means I want to set it back to false. Else, if the theme is not dark, then I want to set it to dark whenever this button is clicked. So if I save this, we have our handle theme function ready. If we check now, I click on this button, the theme automatically changes to dark. And if I click on it again, the theme changes to light. So this is how we implement the dark and the light modes in our websites to make it more interesting and user friendly for the user. So this was just this is a basic example that I've shown you here, how people implement these features of light and dark mode in the websites, but we can customize it even more. For example, in the light mode, by default the color of the cards is white, and when I click on it, the color of the card is black. So this is something which is built in within the Material UI, but it also gives a flexibility to change all these colors. For example, on the light theme, I can keep these cards colors to yellow, and when I click on it, probably I need it not black, maybe I need it gray. So there is a feature provided by Material UI to even more customize this themes. If you would like to see more video on this topic, feel free to leave in the comments. I'll definitely make another tutorial for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.